Hey, what's up you guys? It's Annie. Welcome back to my channel where I help you take the confusion out of growth on YouTube and help you to grow the successful YouTube channel of your dreams. Now, in today's video, I'm delving into the real meaning of small YouTuber support, which is a more experienced YouTuber like me who has made mistakes, done some things right, seen slow growth, seen faster growth, giving smaller, more beginner YouTubers my top tips on being a successful YouTuber. So these are essentially just 20 different things I would go back in time and tell my beginner YouTuber self, knowing now what I know about being a YouTuber and what it takes to actually grow on YouTube. Now, as you can tell, if you've been on my channel before, this is a little bit of a different setup, and if you don't want to hear about this, feel free to skip to this timestamp. But essentially, in my other filming setup down in my office, I just felt like I was trying to be somebody I'm not, trying to be one more of those like tech guru YouTubers, which kind of messes with the overall feel of what I was going for on my channel, which is more of just me sitting down, talking to my friends, talking to my younger brother and or sister, and just sort of being like a friend to newer YouTubers looking for advice and or guidance. So I decided to change things up and try filming a more like podcast style video. So I am set up in my bedroom, have my little microphone here with me, and I'm just gonna take things a lot more chill and relaxed in these videos and see how you guys like it. And finally, before getting into today's video, I have to give away my Instagram and YouTube shoutouts. Thank you guys so much for supporting my platform and staying active on it. If you guys want a shoutout in my next video, all you have to do is stay active on my Instagram and or my YouTube channel, and I pick at random from the comment section of my Instagram and my YouTube channel. So without further ado, here are 20 tips for new and beginner YouTubers. So my first tip that would be a game changer to go back in time and tell my beginner YouTuber self is to learn what the YouTube algorithm is, how it works, and how to manipulate it. When I first started YouTube, I had no clue what an algorithm even was, let alone the fact that YouTube had one and how it worked. And it's in understanding the algorithm and how it works that I was able to make my channel blow up. So I wish with every being in me that I could go back in time, talk to my beginner YouTuber self, and tell myself, hey, this is how the algorithm works. Hey, this is how to manipulate it, and this is how your channel is gonna grow super, super quickly. So I definitely urge every single new YouTuber to research and learn YouTube's algorithm and learn to manipulate it to take advantage of it and help it to grow your channel faster. Second tip I feel is absolutely crucial is to identify your tribe. I feel like it's every small or beginner YouTuber's main goal to identify and figure out what type of content they want to make. They're much more focused on what content they're making, whereas they should be much more focused on who they're making the content for. Once you know who you're making your videos for and who your ideal subscriber and your ideal audience is, it is much easier to, one, find people who fit that mold to become your subscribers, and also to find content ideas for that specific audience. Once I realized my target audience was beginner YouTubers, it was then much easier for me to find video ideas because I could just ask myself, what are beginner YouTubers looking for? What do beginner YouTubers want to know and or learn? So rather than asking yourself, what type of content do I want to make? What type of videos are people searching for? Try to first figure out who your audience is and who you're targeting as an audience, and then finding content ideas is much, much easier. Tip number 3, learn the beauty of long-tailed SEO. As a small YouTuber with a much smaller audience and much less engagement, it's very, very difficult to get your videos out there, get attention, get views, and get subscribers. In which case, I think for most small YouTubers, your best chance at growing is to rank in search. Now, I've made loads of videos on SEO, ranking videos in search, and all of that, so I'm not going to bother going over all that all over again. Feel free to watch those videos if you want to know more about this. However, as I said before in those videos, trying to rank for a short tail keyword like get subscribers that has way too much competition is not going to give you a very good chance to rank in search. Whereas targeting a more long tail keyword like get subscribers on YouTube in 2020 is much more broken down, much more specific, and has much less competition, which gives you a much better chance to rank in search, get more traction, get more views, and more potential subscribers. So that is another science I 10 on 10 recommend you figure out and learn. Tip number 4, create a safety net. And by this, I mean create yourself a list full of potential video ideas. So if ever you are ready to film, you're super motivated, you're ready to get going, but you have no idea what on earth to film, you already have at your disposal this long list full of ideas that you can just grab and go with. That is one that has changed the game for me. Tip number 5, have an upload schedule. This will, 1, ensure that your subscribers always know when to look out for your videos, and will also help you to better organize the rest of your week around your filming, your editing, and your upload schedule. If you know you have a video going up on Wednesday or Saturday, then you know what days you need to be filming, editing, and uploading, and what other days you have at your disposal for other things happening in your life. That is one organization tool I wish I'd learned much earlier on in my YouTube career. Tip number 6, develop a workflow. This is the one that changed everything for me. I used to spend hours upon hours filming my videos and days upon days editing my videos. Then I developed a workflow and sort of like a filming and editing routine, and I turned my filming from hours into about 20 to 30 minutes and days upon days of editing into no more than an hour or 2 of editing. So I definitely suggest every YouTuber find their own routine, their own workflow, because it's going to save you so much time, make you so much more productive, and get so much more accomplished. My next tip, begin every single video with a hook. The first 10 seconds of your video is crucial. If you don't hook your viewers from the get-go in the first 10 seconds of your video, chances are they're not sticking around, which is why I always start every one of my videos with, in this video, this is what you're getting. In this video, this is what you're gonna get out of it, because it then hooks my viewers right away and gets them to stick around longer in my video. Whereas if I spend way too long getting to my point in the beginning of my video, chances are they're gonna get fed up and leave my video. So I think learning the art of the hook is super important. Audience retention. Engagement on your video, like likes, comments, comment replies, shares, as well as audience retention, meaning how long people are watching your video for, is the number one thing YouTube is looking at when deciding whether or not to boost your videos. So you want to do absolutely everything in your power to get as much retention as possible and keep your viewers watching for as long as possible, because the more retention you have, the better your video has its chance of blowing up on YouTube. The perfect title format to get views. If you've seen any of my video titles on my channel, I have a very specific formula, if you will, for creating my video titles. Each one of my titles is split up into 2 different keywords. So the first half of my title, the first keyword, is for the sole purpose of getting clicks. So things like how I got 11,000 subscribers in a month, how I made $5,000 in a month, something that when somebody sees that video on their recommended page or suggested section, it catches their eye right away and makes them want to watch my video. So that keyword has nothing to do with SEO or ranking in search or being super highly searched. It's all about getting the clicks. Then the second half of the title is the more searchable, more SEO friendly keyword that is less so for getting clicks and more so for actually ranking in search. So by having this format for my titles, I ensure that 1, my videos get clicks, and 2, they rank in search to get even more potential views and subscribers. My next tip, add end screens to every one of your videos. Now, granted, I do not do enough of this and I should. However, when you upload videos to YouTube, YouTube allows you to add end screens to your videos, which are basically these cards that pop up on your videos towards the end that allows your viewers to jump from one of your videos to another one, to another one, to another one, which is going to keep them on your videos for longer and give you a better chance of turning viewers into subscribers. So when you're uploading your videos, I definitely 10 on 10 recommend you take the extra 30 seconds it takes to add end screens to your videos, because they're a game changer. My next tip, study thumbnails. Thumbnails are the most important part of your video's outward appearance, because that is the first thing somebody sees before deciding whether or not to click onto your video. So if your thumbnail turns them away from the video, you're not getting a view. If your thumbnails drag them in, chances are you're gonna get a view. So what I 10 on 10 recommend you do is go onto the recommended page on YouTube. The first 3 thumbnails that jump out at you, ask yourself, what about this thumbnail made it jump out to you? Was it the colors? Was it how bright it was? The very big text that caught your eye? These are all things you want to take notes on and things you want to maybe attempt on your thumbnails to see if they help you get a better click-through rate and more views. My next tip is a big one. replicate top performing videos. If you make a video on your channel, meaning it gets lots of views, turns viewers into subscribers, you want to replicate that by making a part 2 or making a series or making a different version of that video. I have more than proven on my own channel that making similar videos or making a second part to a video has gotten me hundreds of thousands of views. And that also tells you what your subscribers are liking on your channel. And to get more views, you want to give your subscribers what they're looking for. So that is one more tip to getting a lot more views on your videos. Want to get those watch hours? Your best friend is longer videos. Because no, just by having a video that's 10 minutes instead of 5 does not guarantee they watch all the way through. However, having a 13-minute video as opposed to a 6-minute video just gives them more video to watch and more potential for more watch time. So try to find ways to lengthen your videos, make them longer, add in more information, and just give your viewers more potential video to watch. Live streaming. This is the very best way to grow an audience that engages with you and actually cares about your channel. Because by live streaming, instead of watching a pre-recorded, pre-edited, pre-uploaded video, they get to engage with you live, ask you questions, get to know you, build a friendship with you. That is what has helped me to build this super strong community I've built on my channel. And I've spoken to my friends over at TubeBuddy, and they've agreed that nobody else on YouTube takes advantage of live streams. So do like me, take advantage of live streams and build that very, very engaged audience. This is what ensures people actually come back to watch your videos and care about your videos. Learn the 3 types of content: community, shareable, and searchable. Community videos are videos you make just because your audience asked for them. So videos that you're not quite sure whether or not they're going to get views or do very well, but they're videos you make because your audience wants to see them and you're pleasing your audience. Now, shareable videos are ones you make with the intent of people sharing them. So with making advice videos for YouTubers, I'm hoping that YouTubers are going to share my videos with their YouTuber friends and or family. And in the past, it's worked for me. Now, searchable videos are the ones you make that you know people are searching for. So as a YouTuber, I know people are searching for how to get subscribers, how to get views, how to edit videos, how to make thumbnails. So those are videos I am naturally drawn to because I know they're searchable and will get me views. So knowing these 3 types of videos and making these 3 types of videos are going to help you get much more views. My next tip, collaborate with other YouTubers. This is a great way to connect with new people, make friends on YouTube, and also get your videos and your channel in front of more people. So find other small YouTubers that make similar content as you, that have a similar audience. Just hit them up and say something like, hey, just found your channel, love it so much. We seem to have very similar content. Would you ever want to do some sort of a collab? And that is a great way to get more views and more subscribers to your channel, as well as make new friends. Read your analytics. For the first year of my channel, I didn't even know I had analytics, never mind actually read them. Your analytics tell you absolutely everything you need to know about where people are finding your videos, where your views are coming from, your audience retention, meaning how long people are actually watching your video, your drop-off points in your videos, and everything you need to know about how your channel is working, and what's not working. So I highly, highly suggest you take the time to actually read your analytics and understand how your channel is working, what to do more of, what to do less of, and what to improve on. Don't get caught up in the numbers. As a smaller YouTuber, it is so easy to become obsessed with how many subscribers you have, how slow you're growing, how fast you're growing. Why is she getting more subscribers than me? Why is she getting more views than me? Why is his channel growing faster than mine? Here's the thing though, on a long-term scale on YouTube, your numbers have very little to do with your success rate. What is far more important than subscribers or views are more analytical things like your retention, your engagement, growing a more loyal audience, doing collabs, and also having fun with your channel. If you are so focused on your numbers, how fast you're growing, how slow you're growing, you lose complete sight of the importance of being a YouTuber, which is having fun and enjoying what you're doing. Now that is easier said than done because obviously I have my subscribers, I have my views, so it's much easier to say than to do. However, it has not been so long since I was a small YouTuber that I completely forget the struggle and the annoyance of not growing on YouTube, but I do know now as a YouTuber with more subscribers and more views, what's actually important to have as a YouTuber and what's actually going to get you further on. Because things like brand deals and affiliates and things that will make you money long term and help you to make YouTube an actual business or an actual job have very little to do with how many subscribers you have or your watch hours, because it is all about your audience, how your audience sees your content, how your audience engages with your content, and more importantly, important things like that. So even though it is much easier said than done, try to not get caught up in the numbers and focus on more important things. My next tip, set smaller goals. It's so easy when you first start a YouTube channel and you learn the requirements for monetization to want to run the race and want to be at 1,000 subscribers or 4,000 hours of watch time. However, trying to get from 0 to 1,000 or 0 to 4,000 is a super long, very slow race. Whereas if you break it down from 1,000 to 100, getting from 0 to 100 is much easier than trying to get from 0 to 1,000. So rather than running the race from 0 to 1,000, try to go from 0 to 100, then 100 to 200, then 200 to 300, and focus more on these smaller milestones rather than the bigger ones you've yet to achieve. Once you really stop and look behind you to realize how many milestones you've actually accomplished and gotten past, you then feel a lot more accomplished and much better about yourself. So I definitely urge you to set smaller goals and chase after smaller goals, and then view each one of your smaller goals as a step closer towards your bigger goals. And then my last tip is possibly one of the hardest ones, and it is to grow a thick skin. There is always going to be that 10% of people on YouTube or even in real life that don't like what you're doing, don't like who you are, don't like what you're saying. And as a small YouTuber, not getting that much engagement, not seeing that many comments, it's very disheartening to get hate comments or see dislikes on your videos. However, unfortunately, as you grow further on YouTube, the hate grows with it. So what I've learned that is much more important is to focus on your supporters, the people who want to see you succeed, and to remind yourself that haters are just people who aren't succeeding themselves and don't want to see other people be successful either. So even though it's not the easiest thing to do, you definitely want to ignore the haters, put them out of your mind, and grow a much thicker skin, because the hate will come, it will affect you at first, but eventually you will learn where to focus your attention towards and what is more important on the grand scheme of things. So that, you guys, is it for this video. That is it for my 20 tips for new and beginner YouTubers. Hopefully this was helpful to you and gave you 1 or 2 new things to think about or focus on. Let me know down below which one of these was the most helpful to you or that actually gave you something to think about, because I would love to know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love you all to the moon and back, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!